Always a pleasure to catch up with head football coach Rob Smith, and we've got a chance to do that a little bit here in the spring as football season. Really, it's the other season, spring ball. You wrap things up. First off, Coach, I want to thank you for joining the Hall of Famer Bert Nordstrom and I during the broadcast. For us, that was a lot of fun.
Well, it was a lot of fun for me, JB. It really was a chance to kind of view what we do and how we do from a different perspective. And I hope the fans that tuned in, enjoyed it as well. Because in spring you can do that. During the season, probably not going to happen.
It would be kind of awkward, I guess, if there's a game you came up and joined us for the second half or something.
A little awkward. There may be some fans that want me up there and not down on the field. But for right now, we'll stay on the field.
So obviously, Bert and I, we watch the game as fans. We're both former players, but we're fans of the game. How is it different when fans watch a game opposed to the way a football coach watches a football game?
Well, I think you try to, put yourself in the mind of the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and why the offensive coordinator is calling such a play against the defense, what he's trying to do to attack that specific defense from a defensive standpoint, how you're going to stop the different things that offense is doing. And obviously on Saturday when I'm able to be up there knowing, on both sides what it is we're trying to do, I hope I can give a different perspective. Right. As far as how the plan is coming to be. But still a lot of fun to do that.
Now, how did your coaches do? Of course, we know the players were playing. They were going to do that in the reps. But for your coaches, a little different. They did not have your input for the game, at least not during the game. Maybe they got a little bit at halftime. But, as far as call-by-call, game-by-game decisions, they were on their own.
They were, and I hope they don't get too used to that because that'll change in the fall. But we wanted to have some fun with the spring game, and I think we did. And not only was it Coach Tripp, my offensive coordinator, and Coach Mack, defensive coordinator, that were involved in the calling of their specific side of the ball, but we used the opportunity to get some of the younger coaches, Chris Vickery on the offensive side.
And I talked to Vickery, and he cracked up. He said, in Madden, the 40 seconds takes forever to call. It's just too long. And he said, next thing you know, that clock was just ticking, and I had to come up with something.
You have some good young coaches, and as they move and progress with their career, they're going to, hopefully be coordinators or head coaches at some point. So this was an opportunity to get Chris Vickery, Isaiah Williams, Dustin Krieger, Brad Hunkins, give them a chance to call a game as a coordinator would, as a head coach would. I think they had some fun with it.
All right, Coach, got us a chance to see the team, and they look good. The things that stuck out, Matt Devlin, your starting tight end coming back, looked good. No surprises there. And also, Chris Bull looked really good. It's the best I have seen him at Humboldt State, and I'm sure a year into things helping him settle down. But, getting out on the run, he looked good at the quarterback position.
Chris did, and you saw Chris make some plays and do things that we know he can do. We haven't seen him do it enough yet, but that was really good for his confidence to come out and be able to be in control of the #1 offense and be productive in that position. So certainly he should feel good, as we do coming out of spring. You mentioned Matt Devlin. Matt's a kid that we're utilizing in different ways this spring, more experimental than anything else. Okay. But trying to get him more in a wideout, both in a tight end and a wideout situation. He may be one of the better receivers we have, and runs very good routes. Is a tough matchup, whether it be against a linebacker or against safeties with that big body. So we want to use that. Both of them have good springs.
Well, all Devlin does is catch touchdown passes. So, that's one of those NFL lines. But that's what I saw the other day.
Not a bad thing.
Offensive line, defense line. I've always preached for years those are the two most important positions on a football field, and they look to be your strengths at this point.
Well, I think they were, and I think they will be as we look ahead to the fall. And certainly the offensive line starting there. We have everyone back from a year ago, led by Taylor Boggs, our center, unanimous first-team All-League the last 2 years. Reardon Gomez, another first-team All-League offensive lineman. We had a situation this spring where we had two starting tackles from a year ago, Brandon Rybar, the left tackle, and Drew Shaw, the right tackle. Both missed spring with recovering from surgeries that they had in the off season. They're going to have a tough time getting those starting jobs back, and I think that's a positive thing. So we have talent and depth on the offensive side. The defensive line, probably our most improved position. We added Andrew Iapati from the University of Oregon. Johnny Wells from Chabot College at defensive end gives us great speed. Chris Holmes returns inside. Brendan Fabian at defensive end, our most improved defensive lineman, had a tremendous spring. We'll factor in. And we get Justin Hornsby back, who going into last year we projected as an honors candidate, missed the majority of last season with an injury, got a medical red shirt, and so he's back. So again, on the defensive line, we have depth and we have talent.
Talk about Taylor Boggs a little bit more. How good is this kid? I mean, it's tough sometimes for people to diagnose the offensive line playing, especially on the radio, because we're talking about who's got the ball. But, scouts are looking at this kid, and for whatever that's worth. And Personally, you get to talk to him. I'm just blown away how nice he is, how personable he is. And then you're telling me he had thumb surgery, didn't even miss a workout. I mean, he's a coach's dream.
Well, he's good enough that the San Diego Chargers were here a couple weeks ago taking a look at him and running him through some tests. He's everything you want as a coach and a football player. A great and a tremendous example of what a student athlete is. He's a 3-point plus grade point average, never a concern there, always getting it done. And he's a lunch pail guy that the season ends on Saturday in November. The following Monday at 6 a.m. you can guarantee that he'll be in the weight room. That's just the way he is and just the way he goes about his work. And he was voted team captain for the 3rd time by his teammates this year. That's a rarity at any level, at any sport, that you have a player that garners that much respect from their teammates, where they're voted 3 different times team captain. So he is our leader. We need to keep him healthy, certainly, because he's a workhorse in there, handles all of our line calls, and certainly a player that I believe should have an opportunity to play at the next level.
All right, Coach. Every fashions of your seasons, off season, spring ball, regular season, you've taken a step forward each time. How do you continue to do that in this kind of dead time now, moving into the regular season?
Well, right now let's finish this semester strong. Number one, let's finish it strong in the classroom. We have another 5 weeks or so remaining in spring semester. Let's finish strong in the classroom. Let's make sure we're fine in the weight room. Players do. That's just something that is part of their makeup. They do that. And then once we get into the summer, we'll have a lot of players that will stay around. Drew Peterson, our strength coach, said last summer was the best turnout, best participation he has had in his 20-plus years here, and I expect that this summer will be even better. So much of the success we hope to have come fall will be based on what players do from here forward.
Well, looking forward to September 4th, that opener at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Thank you, Coach. Enjoy the offseason.
Great, JB. We'll do.
Rob Smith on Humboldt State Tonight.